there, I'm Lucille Greeff and I am one of the partners in Aephoria. Let's meet our Enneagram 3s, our ambitious taskmasters. These are the people that are in the crew of winners and that don't want to be seen as losers in the world. And that's really the key to understanding the Enneagram 3 motivation. My image, how I am seen, how I am perceived by others, is really very important to me. What that means is I might do a lot of things to make sure that I'm seen as adding value, and at the same time I might identify or over-identify with some of the externalities that communicate to others that I am successful. That might be as simple as branded clothing or the kind of car that I drive, but these things matter to Enneagram 3s. It tells the people around me that I am successful. Enneagram 3s often struggle with the process of being workaholics and putting too much energy into tasks. You know the saying, you've become a human doing rather than a human being? This is often part of life's challenges for our Enneagram 3s. If I'm really ambitious about my goals and moving my life forward, there's always more things that need doing. And I might find that I feel like I'm without value when I relax into not doing much. Will people still think that I'm valuable? What will people think of me? This is part of what keeps the Enneagram 3 stuck in a workaholic cycle a lot of the time. If we look at the strengths of Enneagram 3 leaders, many of them are excellent project managers. They're really good at making sure that we move our projects and our tasks and our strategies forward. Progress is part of what they are most obsessed with. Enneagram 3s are also often very gifted at influencing others, at making sure that we tell a story in a way that feels compelling, at bringing in some way that charisma and inspiration that we need to convince others of a point of view. Enneagram 3s are by nature competitive. So if I am in an environment where that competitiveness is going to give me an edge, for example, marketing, sales, business development, then I can harness that competitive energy to move things forward and make things happen. From a development perspective, Enneagram 3s need to work with the implications of their adaptive, almost chameleon-like behavior in the system. If I'm adapting to make sure that I get to the outcomes that I need, the people that are watching me in the system might see me as inconsistent and might start wondering about my greater intentions when I'm saying A to this person and B to the other just to move the project forward. It really works well for Enneagram 3s when they realize that honesty is in fact a great policy. Many Enneagram 3s also get so activated by failure or the possibility of failure that it can scramble their decision making and their judgment, not just when they're talking about past failures, but also when they're facing the potential of something not working out. It really does the Enneagram 3 well to remember that most of the major innovations in the world and progressions in the world come from multiple failures. That's how we make sure that we keep growing and moving. It's not something that we can avoid in our lives in totality. Enneagram 3s need to slow down and pay attention to the emotions and the relationships around them. It's not all about the task. It's not just about making sure that things get done. That neglect of relationships can have long-term consequences, not just in my work life, but sometimes due to my workaholic behaviors, it also spills over into my family life, where my family don't get the best of me because it's all been spent at work. Enneagram 3s, you need to remember that intrinsically you have value and you carry value inside yourself. You are allowed to relax. Even when you slow down completely and you're lounging about, who you are still makes a difference. You don't need to work so hard to prove it to us all the time. If you can remember this, people might get along a bit easier with you when you're running at speed and wanting to make sure that things get done. Lastly, as Enneagram 3s, we also need to see what the balance is between our competitive and collaborative energies. And when I need to let things go because I can't really win every single argument that I get involved in. The overall journey of the Enneagram 3 is to move from the place of vanity into the place of authenticity, where I really allow myself to relax into who I am, not working so hard at my image and how I'm seen, and allowing myself to be in true authentic relationship with myself.